Hey guys, it's your girl Nosh, back at it again. Back at it always. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment at the bottom if you'd like to do so. And thank you so much for hitting the bell notification. This way you always know when I post a video. So you don't have to be like, oh, when is she posting? As soon as I post, you'll get it. I wanted to talk to you guys about the planetary alignment that's going on right now. If you guys don't know, I do tarot readings as a hobby. But my first love is astrology. I am an astrology geek. I love the stars. I love the planetary arrangements. I always believe that the planets are always telling a story if we actually learn to read it or listen to it. You actually come away with so many insights that you wouldn't get on your regular news channel. You know what I mean? I feel like the stars have a lot to say if one is willing to listen. A lot of you guys don't understand. Most of our power comes from the stars. Most of our abilities, most of our the way we are, the way we're made up. We are stars ourselves. So that's why I believe that stars are a way of looking at what's really going on inside of us. And this is why I love astrology. So let me stop and let me just get with this and let you guys know what is really going on in the sky right now. So of course you probably saw on TikTok, of course you probably, like saw it in your magazine, in your articles, your newsletters, or whatever you're subscribed to, dealing with astrology and zodiacs, right? That there is a planetary alignment. Yeah, there is a planetary alignment, but the biggest thing that I am seeing here is that there's 3 planets that are gathered together under one zodiac sign discussing things. And this is going to be important for you guys because 2025 is going to be the major shift of things actually manifesting for you if you've been doing the work since 2020. In 2020, most of us were telling you guys that you need to change. You need to change. You need to look at life through the lens of love instead of the lens of hate and jealousy and whatever it is that's of negative vibration. The reason why we were saying this is because of this situation happening right now. Pluto being in Aquarius, the alignment that's happening in front of you, like the parade that's literally going on, as they're calling it, the Planetary Parade. I love it. It's cute. If you do look up at the sky, you'll be able to see it. It'll be more visible going into February, like late the last week of January. Some of you probably already noticed it on January 23rd. It was out last night. I saw it. And then 2 nights ago, I remember looking out the window and I was like, oh, wow, that is really bright out there. And it was Jupiter in all its shine. And then I noticed everybody else around Jupiter. And I was like, oh, shoot, they're having a parade. But yeah, so this is all about a split. So most of you are going to be thinking like, oh, the earth is splitting and this and that. Nothing is splitting, guys. The earth is not splitting into 2 halves. When we speak of these things in astrology, we speak of as symbology. It's a symbol of saying that something is splitting. The earth is splitting. We are connected to the earth. We are made of the earth. So obviously we are splitting. It's us. It's an internal split. And when I say it's an internal split, it's talking about the things that you need to let go of. You're splitting away from them. This is what this alignment is indicating. Because you have Saturn, Venus, and Neptune sitting in Pisces. Then you have Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter is retrograding in Gemini, and you have Cancer in Mars in Cancer. So Mars in Cancer is Jupiter in retrograde in Gemini, Uranus in Taurus. You have Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces. These 3 planets are what are helping you go into that shift mode, that split mode. Meaning, if you have felt very uncomfortable in a situation around certain people, at a job, at a location, it is very, very imperative that you move away from that. And if you don't, the telltale sign is you feeling uncomfortable. Some of you may not feel it at a place you live, at a job that you're at, around the people, in your relationships. You're probably feeling it within you, with the foods that you're eating, with the way you are operating on a day-to-day basis. So there's 2 ways this could be happening. It could be happening in your relationships. It could be happening in your finances, and it could be happening in your mental area and your physical area. The split has to happen. The split has to happen because the split has to take place in order for you to become the new you that you signed up for during this time period. All of you are on a certain timeline where you signed a contract to say, you know what, when I've learned these lessons and I'm done with them, this is the contract I am moving on to next. That the contract that you're moving on to next is here. So in order for you to fit the role of that contract, you must let go of the things that no longer serve you, that no longer are going to help you, because this is going to be a new you playing a new role going forward. So who you were 2 years ago, hell, who you were 2 months ago is not going to play the same role. Soon as we moved into January, soon as Pluto moved into Aquarius, this new contract has started. In the beginning, we were just training for it. Now we're literally standing in the role, doing the job. So that's why a lot of you will notice you're not engaging in negativity anymore. Especially those who love to talk about politics and love to talk about, the comparing and contrasting with other things and other people. You need to realize that while you're doing that, you are manifesting more of that into your life. So right now, if you are excuse me, I dropped my pen. If you are looking into the future and you're manifesting positive things for yourself, you're loving yourself, you are putting yourself first, you're choosing you are going to get exactly the fruits of your labor. You get what I'm saying? Whatever you have been letting go of, it is going to be replaced in a positive manner. So if you're still stuck in that relationship that you knew you should have left 2 years ago, it is going to get very uncomfortable. And we always say this, but it's the truth. It's going to get uncomfortable to the point where you have to move. This is where I talk about the Tower card. You don't want the universe throwing a Tower card at you. You'd rather go through the Tower card on your own, meaning you make the decision of moving on from something that no longer serves you or that no longer serves the timeline that you're on. Because if you let the universe get involved, that's when things get kind of messy in a sense, where if you were supposed to move on from a certain place that you're living at and you just refuse to do that, something's gonna happen and you're gonna have to move. Meaning the universe is going to do something where either, I hate to put it out there, something is going to happen where it's going to impact you in that place where you are refusing to let go of. Now, whether the impact is detrimental, hazardous, or one of those natures, that I can definitely tell you is going to happen, because when the universe wants you to move, it will make you move. So if it has to make it rain in order for you to find shelter under a porch, it will do that. So that's why I say you don't want the universe to throw the Tower card, because you know what happens. Like, you keep saying, oh, you need to go to the doctor, and you keep pushing it off, and then you get so sick, you gotta go to the doctor. And I don't want you guys going through that. A lot of us, you'll notice, we're getting sick. That's because we were actually growing. I always want you to guys look at that. Whenever you get sick or whenever you go through a virus or anything like that, that is basically us shutting away things that we are no longer supposed to be having in our systems. Like some of you guys sit there and binge on certain junk food, and then all of a sudden you get the flu, this happens, that happens, and for 3-4 days you're not eating, you're just basically disposing everything out of your system, right? That is like in a way of a cleanse. That's like the universe saying, you know what, you've been eating a lot of shit, and now it's time for you to get that shit out, and we're going to do anything we can to get it out. Some of you, be careful. If you've been asking for weight loss, don't be surprised if you get sick for 3-4 days with whatever viruses are going around, and then here you lost 5 pounds easily. You got to be careful, because right now, that's another thing. Manifestations are happening really quickly. I'm talking about really quickly. Okay, try it. You don't believe me? Give it a go. If you're if you're at the mall, you're looking for a parking spot, just manifest a parking spot next to the door of the mall, like the front doors of the mall. You will find it. Trust me. You just got to think of it and then let it go. That's how you know it's working, okay? Like little small things like that. Manifest a pizza, and all of a sudden, guess what? Someone's offering you a pizza. Like, hey, you want this leftover pizza? I know I work very well with food. I can manifest food out of thin air. It's ridiculous. Wish I could do that with money. Haha, jokey jokes. But anyway, So there are a couple of signs that are really, really kind of like in the spotlight for this. It's Aries, Taurus, Capricorn, and Pisces. You guys have to be careful because this is your fuck around and find out moment. Okay, so Aries, you will realize that your confidence will grow. Like whatever you're feeling confident about career wise, or like, you know, like anything doing with your finances, be confident in it and it will pan out for you. You being negative and self-doubting yourself is not going to work. That's actually going to hold you back from it. Taurus, please look into investments. Please look into your finances. Try to grow it. Try to double it because it will happen. Again, don't be negative about it, because the more you're negative about anything around your house, in your life, in your relationships, in your finances, you will manifest that. So you at this point want to be, yes, everything is working for me. Everything is good for me. I attract money like a magnet. These are the things you want to be saying to yourself, okay? Pisces, right now is the time you need to be manifesting your desires. Stop looking at the past and thinking about the things that didn't work out. Even the things that didn't work out, pretend in your mind that they worked. Okay? And that they're done with. That was a part of you that had to close its cycle and now it's finished. Do not go searching in the past for why, what ifs, and what happened. Right now is the time period where you need to be focusing on exactly what you want and being happy about it and feeling positive about it. This whole thing is about feeling positive, guys. Okay, and I'm going to touch that in 1 second. Let me just go over Capricorn. Capricorn, this is a time for peace. So no more engaging in any type of in conversations, situations, people, places, or things that bring negativity. Okay, I'm going to let that sink in for a second while I light this. If there's a job, Capricorn, if there's a person, if there's a feeling, a thought, a behavior that is negative, like jealousy, comparing and contrasting yourself to others, being harsh on yourself, talking bad about yourself to yourself, talking bad about other people, you need to put that to a rest. You need to let it go, because in order for the things that you want to grow for you, you're going to have to let go of this negative pattern. It's basically showing me the devil card in a sense where whatever you're bonded to, you need to let it go in order for you to move forward. So that is why, Capricorn, right now you're seeing things and you're like, wait a minute, I really don't want to talk to those people, because whenever I talk to them, all they do is talk shit about people. It's like the light bulb's going on. Like, oh, I don't want to hang out with Susie because every time I hang out with Susie, all she does is talk about her negative view on life and politics and all that. Just stay away from Susie, Capricorn. Okay, focus on yourself, focus on the self-love you have for yourself, and just please try to pamper yourself during this time period, because you are really going through the shift. You and Pisces are really going through it. And you'll feel it, like you'll keep feeling that every time you make a decision, the universe is changing it for you. That's good. Let the universe keep doing its thing, okay? Don't get in the way of the universe, Capricorn and Pisces, because if you do, you're just going to hold yourself back. You're just going to keep delaying yourself. It's not that it's not going to happen for you. It's just going to keep getting delayed, and it's going to get even tougher, you know, the second time around when it comes to you. Like if you have a blessing coming towards you, it's going to be tougher for you to get to that blessing because you've been vibrating on a negative aspect of your, you know, your emotions or your mental frame. Especially Pisces. You got to get out of this wallowing of like what happened in the past. That's why they're saying, in order for you to manifest your desires, you got to be in the present moment. Okay, that's why this whole theme is like, look at everything through the lens of love, not through rose-colored glasses, but the lens of love. Meaning, even look at your enemy and be like, you know what? I understand that you behave this way because of A, B, and C. I understand that I'm not forgiving you for that, but I am understanding that. So I'm going to go a little softer on you. Instead of hating you, I'm actually going to pity you. Because when you bring pity, is actually a higher vibration than hate. If you don't get what I'm saying, please try to understand this. When you hate something, you're despising it. You're putting all your emotions into it, right? When you're pitying something and you're feeling sympathetic towards it and you actually feel bad towards it, it's literally reconstructing your emotions into not feeling the hate, the animosity. It's more towards like, oh, pobrecito, like, oh my God, you know, like you've been through so much, and you know what, I really hope you find your way, and I understand why you treat me this way, because you know what, it's because you've never been treated with love, and I totally understand it, but I'm not going to put up with it. I'm just going to separate myself from you, because I love me, and I'm hoping that maybe one day in life you can learn to love yourself. You see how that dialect just changed into, oh, I hate that person. I can't stand that person. Every time that person comes around and I just, you see how heavier that is. Pity is a little better. Pity's no good either, but it actually is a little better than hate. So that's why we tell you guys, look at life through the lens of love. Okay, wherever you've been feeling hate towards something or someone or a person, place, or situation or emotion or thing, please move yourself away from that feeling and bring yourself over to the empathetic feeling, the apathetic feeling, the sympathetic feeling, the pity feeling. A lot of people actually hate it when you look down on them. When you look down on someone, it kind of makes them feel like you're pitying them. You know what? I'd rather pity my enemy than to hate my enemy, because this way, you know what? I'll find it in myself to actually pray for my enemy and be like, you know what? I kind of feel bad for you that you're going through this and that you have been through this. But you know what? It's your fault. It's your problem. You shouldn't take it out on other people, but I still feel bad. I'll no longer hate you, but I kind of pity you. So just move away from me. Move away from me. It's like you pitying that stray that gets stranded out in the middle of the rain. You kind of feed it, you give it shelter, and then you keep on moving. But I don't know, some of you guys love to bring in strays. You got to be careful with that. Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody's thinking about a stray, but I don't know. The stray might be too wild. Be careful. Maybe it's better for the stray to go to the shelter, better than coming into your home. So stop focusing on others. Stop focusing on others' gains. Stop focusing on others. Focus on you. That is the theme for this. Now, let's go back to 2020. In 2020, when everybody was introduced to the spiritual path of getting closer to the universe or whatever you want to call God, this is very important that in 2025 you're still doing the same thing, because if you fell off the wagon, you'll notice the repetitive themes of your past are going to start to come up. From some of you, I think you already know that whenever you fall off the spiritual bandwagon, you start noticing things going left in your life. You know what? That's kind of the universe saying, like, stay with me and I'll make everything better. But as soon as you walk away from me, you'll realize how much of a storm it's out there. Get it? If not, it's kind of like saying, in a sense, it's snowing outside and there's like a nice warm cabin with like a baked pie inside. Would you rather be inside the cabin eating the baked pie in warmth, not getting frostbite, or do you want to be in the snowstorm caught in the avalanche that's coming? Basically, the cabin is the universe. Without the universe is the avalanche. I hope you guys understood that analogy. So this whole thing of the splitting thing that I was talking about, that earth is splitting, it's basically splitting into two things. And it's not the earth splitting itself like physically, it's figuratively speaking, in a sense where you yourself as a person, you are splitting. There's going to be a split between you being more spiritual and being more lighthearted and being more full of intuition and wisdom and knowledge, other than the other split is the negativity, the trauma, past problems, and limiting beliefs. So as you guys know, when you're in a lower vibration, you think about limiting beliefs, like you think that you can't do this, you can't do that. When you're living in the light, when you're living in a more spiritual path, when you're living with a relationship with the universe, you somehow develop courage for yourself and confidence within yourself from the universe that tells you you can do anything. Meaning you have people out there that believe that they can't go back to school because they're 50 years old, they're 60 years old. To be honest with you, education doesn't have an age limit. At whatever age you can start learning and whatever age you want to stop learning, you can stop learning. And honestly, we never stop learning. We are constantly learning every single day. So people who don't want to learn, that's what I'm talking about. People who don't want to open up their minds and move forward are going to be stuck in that dark days. Like, remember how in 2020 and 2021 we were talking about the dark days that we were going to go into, the dark age? Well, technically it's not a dark age. It's an age where you have to decide whether it's going to be dark or light for you. If you decide to be stuck in the dark age, in the sense of where you're still thinking about the things that limit you, or you're thinking about how the world is still limited and you feel like you just can't do anything and nothing's ever good that's happening, that is being stuck in the dark age. Again, it's not the dark age. It's a symbology of in the darkness. So when you're in the darkness, you can't see anything. So a lot of times when we're in relationships or we're in connections and we're at jobs that are not making us happy, we are in the darkness because we feel we can't leave this because there is nothing else out there. That is darkness. But when you're in a situation and you say to yourself, you know what, I deserve more than this. I've been working so hard and I know that what I deserve is out there for me. I just have to move away from this in order to get to it. That is living in the light, in a sense. So if you are the type of person who, let's say, give you an example, you're trying to lose weight, but you keep telling yourself, oh, but I can't. You are living in the darkness. Soon as you move into the light, you'll realize that you'll get the encouragement to want to work out, to eat right, or to eat properly. And some of you might even go through a point where you will get sick with whatever you're putting in your body, because even the universe is telling you, you can't put this in your body anymore. We're giving you a hint. Please take the hint that we're giving you. So cut the sugar out. Cut the gluten out, please, because you'll actually feel better if you do this. Cut the soda out. Your skin will get better if you actually do this. Listen to your body. Right now is very important for us to be listening to our bodies, because especially if we're going through the physical split, because some of us are going through physical splits, some of us are going through mental splits, some of us are going through relationship splits, people splits. There's splits going on in everybody's lives in different areas, because everybody has a different journey. If you go back to the last video that I posted, I explained to you in details that we are not all the same. We are all running on different timelines, which segues into the next thing I want to talk about. There's also a split in the timelines. So whatever timeline you've been manifesting, whatever timeline you've been desiring to be in, this is your opportunity to hop into that timeline. How do you do it? By letting go of the past. Letting go of whoever you hate, whoever you are jealous of. Just put it away. It's okay. We know you hated them. We know you're jealous of them, but today is a new day. You can start new. Whatever you do will be forgiven. Whatever you've done will be forgiven. As long as you hop onto the new timeline of being positive, of looking at someone you were jealous of once and saying, you know what? I think I was jealous of you because I admired you so much and I wanted what you had because I wanted it, because I never had something like that. Well, now is your opportunity to work towards building something like that you have been jealous of. Make sense? So going forward, we all do this. We all look at celebrities and we're like, oh, I want what they have. You know what? You could have what they have. You can have it. You just have to work towards it. So if there's someone out there that you've been looking at and you've been saying, oh, I want to be like them, you don't have to be necessarily like them, but you can start working on yourself to get the things that person has. But they'll just be yours in a way. It'll be signature in your essence. Because everybody has a certain timeline that they're on. Everybody has a certain destiny that's written for them. So if you guys are out there trying to swap destinies with people or steal destinies from people, right now is not the time to be doing that, because it will backfire. You have to understand, destinies are secure. You cannot do that. And if you do it, you will have to pay a penalty. And some of you who believe that there are no penalties to pay, I'm not going to argue with you. You have the right to think the way you think, but please be careful if you're in that business of stealing things and swapping things. Because some people are chosen people, and when you do it with them, it really does backfire. It doesn't work out. The person that you're stealing from may be down for a little bit, but then they'll get that oomph, that extra help from the universe, and they'll be even farther away from you than you would like. And now you can't steal anything, and now you can't take anything because you've been exposed. Because remember, the universe sees everything, okay? AKA God, the creator, the source sees everything. Whether you believe in it or not, it still watches you. It still knows what you're doing. So please be careful. For those of you who are willing to let go of the old timeline that you were on, this is your opportunity. It's going to happen. So please be in a very positive mind frame moving forward. Write out your manifestations. Write out what is it that you want. Manifest it, feel it, think it, believe it, and it's yours. This is really where that pop quiz comes in. This is kind of like the exam here. The finals. Not the final. I can't say it's the finals, because then it makes everything end all or be all when it's never end all or be all. So this is not the finals. This is just the exam for the next marking period. How's that? as my old teaching background is like, this is the exam for the next marking period, children. Okay, so take out your notes, look at the things that you've done in the past, go back to 2020, see how you were living, and multiply it. If you were living good, things that were happening were really good around that time, multiply it. Well, we all know what was going on in 2020. And this is another thing I want to say to you. Please stop focusing on that time. Please stop focusing on the loss. Okay? Because Chiron is in Aries. When Chiron is in Aries, you have to choose yourself. Aries Chirons are basically individuals that need to understand that you choosing yourself is what's going to help you win in the end. Because in a past life, if you have Aries, right? If you have your Chiron in Aries, in a past life, you didn't choose yourself. You kept choosing other people. You kept giving other people the opportunities that were meant for you. Now, this lifetime, it is very important for you to put yourself first. Again, hence, if you look at the sky right now, Chiron is in Aries. I think it's an Aries till July 30th, I believe, July. So up until from now until July, you really have to choose yourself. For all the things that you've been wanting, all the wishes that you've been making, all the prayers you've been making, you have to choose yourself. Meaning, if you're in a relationship that's abusive, right? You're in a relationship that keeps taking from you. You got to choose yourself. You got to choose yourself. You got to choose yourself. I don't know how many times they want me to repeat this, guys. Somebody needs to hear this. You need to choose yourself. You haven't been choosing yourself, and that's why everything has been happening the way it has. That's why people have been taking advantage of you. That's why people have been treating you the way they have been, because they think that you're a pushover because you have not been standing up for yourself. And some of you have not been standing up for yourself and choosing yourself. And you've been, kind of looking at other people and choosing them in a sense. Like, oh, I want to be like that. When you should want to be like what you are meant to be like. You know what I mean? So that's all that's going on right now. And just remember, Jupiter is also in retrograde in Gemini. So just be careful with how you say things, because it's like when you gossip and you gossip about the wrong person or the wrong thing, it may blow up in your face. Because, Gemini, Jupiter is about multiplying, but Jupiter is going retrograde. So it's kind of like wonky right now. It's like, I don't know how to put it, but in my mind, I'm seeing it and I'm laughing. It's like this drunk panda, trying to cook in the kitchen. It's like adding everything into it. Like, oh, yes, we need peppers. Oh, yes, we need that. Oh, yeah. I don't even know why I said drunk panda, but that's exactly what I saw. Drunk panda in the kitchen cooking, and it's not going right. It's not going right at all. Like the water is boiling out of the pot. You know what I mean? So be careful. Be careful who you are speaking to. Be careful what you're saying. And a lot of times right now is the best time to honestly keep your ideas and your thoughts to yourself. It will pass. Just don't get caught out there. Like you go ahead and you gossip about the boss, or you talk shit about the boss. And next thing you know, the person you're telling this to is running back and telling the boss. So be careful. That's what I talk about when I say Jupiter and Gemini retrograde, or Jupiter is retrograding in Gemini. It's like communication could either take off or take down. You know what I mean? Take down somebody. Or the way you're expressing your feelings, you may be feeling so much, but you're feeling confused on how to convey those feelings. When times like that happen, when you don't understand how to say what you want to say, just write it down. Write it down and see how it sounds to you. When you write down something and you read it out loud, it kind of sounds different than it was in your head. Because a lot of times you'll say something to people and you'll be like, wait, that was different in my head, but the way I just delivered the message was just all wrong. Virgos, be careful with that. Please, Virgos, be careful with how you are delivering your messages. Be careful with how you are, coming across to people. You may be coming across from a place of love, but the way you are saying it may be a little harsh to the person that you're saying it to. So just be on the lookout for that. And most of you out there, please, please, please stop engaging with negativity. If someone wants to argue, don't argue back. Don't argue back. Let it go. Kind of like just nod your head, I know some of you love to argue back. I know you love to debate, but again, that split where you have to grow, because some of these arguments are just not necessary. These people are just baiting you in order to put you in a vibration where you'll notice, like, you'll be feeling positive all day, and then all of a sudden you'll talk to negative Nancy, and then, then now your mood is off. Don't do that to yourself. Stay away from negative Nancy, or lock yourself, seal yourself. Seal your energy, lock your energy from negative Nancy. Here she comes down the hallway talking to you about some shit that you don't like. Just be like, oh, okay, Nancy, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta go back to my desk. Or I gotta go back to my cubicle. Or I gotta go back to my spot, because, I don't want to get in trouble. But it was good talking to you. I'll talk to you later. Just be nice. Just be kind about it. And I know sometimes you just want to be like, ugh. Trust me, I feel it too. I feel it all the time around these negative Nancys. But us evolving and saying that we're walking in a spiritual path is all about being kind. And that's something that I've had to work with a lot myself, where as you guys know, I'm an asshole. I'm petty. I'm quick to have a mark. like have a remark back, counterattack everybody's remarks. But the best thing to do is, honestly, sometimes it's just be quiet. And for the past like 10 years, just about 5-10 years, I've been experiencing just being quiet, and it's actually working in my favor. So whenever somebody's yelling at me, someone is accusing me of something, I'm seriously just being quiet. Like, you know what? The truth will eventually speak up for itself. But I'm not saying that this for everybody, because everybody's on different timelines. That's just my situation where I had to learn from where listen, I'm very confrontational, right? As we all know, I have no problem communicating how I feel. We all know this. If you've been listening to me and my videos and you've been watching me on TikTok, I don't hold back. I let it go. I'm a Sagittarius. I can't help it. With an Aquarius moon, I have a smart ass mouth. But I've learned over the years that sometimes it's necessary to just not be like that, because what you do is you dig yourself even more deeper into the quicksand, because this is what these people want you to do. Negative energy, aka negative Nancy's, they want you to do this so they can move you out of the positive vibration that you're in. When you're vibing high, trust me, there's going to be some type of negative Nancy that's going to come around to kill your vibe. And you must not let it kill your vibe, because if you do, then you're letting this person know that you are giving them power. And remember, 2021, taking our power back, words are spells, this and that. So don't exchange energy with people that you don't need to be exchanging energy with. Somebody, tells you off, somebody says something to you, whatever. Like, you know who you are. Be confident in yourself. When small dogs bark at you, you don't need to turn around and roar at them, because you're the lion. It's an African proverb. Oh, there we go. You heard that? Da-da-da-da. Oh, wow. I like that. Well, I don't know what that was, but that sounded cool. It was like clapping, like da-da-da. There we go. So yeah, there is an African proverb that says, lions don't turn when small dogs bark at them. It's just a dog. It's going to bark. Eventually it'll stop barking and it'll go away. You're a lion. Sit in your royalty. Sit on your throne. Straighten your crown. Don't worry about what others are saying. Don't worry about what others are doing. See, it goes back to that theme of focus on the positive. Don't worry about others. And I think this is awesome, because I kind of set you guys up for this with the last video where I was telling you guys that everybody has a different timeline. Don't worry about what other people are doing. This kind of speaks for itself in this planetary alignment that we're going through, that right now, seriously, fuck everybody else. It's about you. Okay? You're Katniss. You're winning it for yourself. All right? So on that note, I love you guys. I'll check you guys around next time when there is something more interesting going on in the sky. I'll tell you about it, okay? All right, guys, bye.